There exists a hidden force, one that shapes the way the world perceives a man, yet remains unnoticed by most. It is not wealth, not status, nor mere appearance. It is something far deeper, something that, when mastered, shifts the balance of power, commanding attention without effort. Most men stumble through life unaware of it, trapped in a cycle of seeking, chasing, and craving validation. But the man who understands this force, the man who sees beyond illusion, becomes untouchable. He becomes undeniable. The truth is stark yet liberating. Attraction, respect, and admiration do not stem from external factors, but from an unshakable inner foundation. Most men live under the false belief that they must impress, perform, and constantly prove their worth. They contort themselves into what they believe will earn them favor, blind to the simple yet profound reality that the rarest and most powerful quality a man can possess is self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Yet most men remain prisoners to thoughts not their own. Thoughts dictated by society, by insecurity, by the fear of being alone. They seek approval, thinking that in doing so they will find love and validation, but they overlook the fundamental truth. The strongest men do not seek, they become. A man who understands this moves through the world differently. He does not chase, he does not beg, he does not seek to convince anyone of his worth. He exists in a state of unwavering presence, a presence that speaks louder than words, a presence that women notice without him ever having to try. It is not arrogance, nor is it detachment for the sake of appearing superior. It is the quiet confidence of a man who has himself under control, who stands firm in who he is, needing nothing from others to validate his existence. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The man who embodies this truth radiates something rare, an energy that draws others in. Women sense this. They are drawn to a presence that is steady, immovable, a force of nature that does not bend to the whims of external validation. Most men, in their desperation to be liked, make the fatal mistake of seeking permission to be valued. The man who has mastered himself needs no such permission. While others react, the disciplined man observes. When tempers flare, he remains composed. When chaos ensues, he stands still, untouched by the turbulence around him. This is not an act. It is not pretense. It is the byproduct of true control, the mark of a man who dictates the energy of the room, rather than being dictated by it. Seneca wisely noted, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is. The one who controls his thoughts controls his reality. And the one who controls his reality controls how the world responds to him." This is the essence of self-mastery, the secret most men overlook, and yet is the very thing that women find irresistible. It is the strength of indifference, not the false kind, not apathy or coldness, but a genuine detachment from the need for validation. The moment a man stops seeking approval, he becomes the one who is sought after. Women admire this not because he is unavailable, but because he is complete within himself. He does not need, he chooses, and choice is power. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius understood the power of detachment. A man who lives by this principle is not swayed by opinions, not desperate for attention, not waiting for the world to affirm his worth. He simply is. And in that state of being, he commands the kind of admiration that cannot be faked or forced. The rarest quality a man can possess is mystery. Most reveal everything about themselves too quickly, losing all intrigue in the process. But the man who understands the art of mystery allows curiosity to build. He speaks when necessary, listens with intent, and reveals himself in layers, never all at once. This depth, this sense of the unknown is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who are not easily deciphered, to those who carry a world within them that is not readily available for all to see. A man who is a mystery is a man who is remembered. Purpose stands above approval. A man too consumed with seeking validation will never stand out. He is lost in the noise of those who seek to please rather than to build. The man on his path has no time for constant reassurance. His focus is directed towards something greater, something beyond temporary affection. And paradoxically, this is what makes him irresistible. Women do not admire the man who seeks their favor. They admire the man who pursues his mission relentlessly, with or without their approval. A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions, said Marcus Aurelius. And a man who prioritizes his purpose over external validation bends the world in his favor. He is not waiting for permission to be great. He is not waiting to be chosen. He chooses himself, and in doing so, he becomes the kind of man that others look up to, the kind of man who stands apart. A man who can stand alone stands above the rest. Solitude does not frighten him, nor does he fill the silence with meaningless distractions. He understands that true power is cultivated in moments of reflection, of self-discipline, of self-improvement. The weak seek constant company to escape their own thoughts. The strong embrace solitude, knowing that growth is found within it. Women notice this. They see the man who is comfortable alone, and in him they recognize strength beyond dependency. The ultimate display of strength is the ability to walk away. Most men tolerate out of fear of losing, fear of scarcity, fear of being alone. But the man who has mastered himself understands that walking away is not loss, it is power. If something does not align with his values, if respect is absent, if dishonesty seeps in, he does not argue, does not plead, he simply removes himself. This is not bitterness. It is not resentment. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows he does not beg for what he can replace. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable, Seneca reminds us. A man without direction is at the mercy of whatever comes his way. But the man who has chosen his path does not wait for circumstances to change. He enforces change. He does not waver. He decides. And so we return to the question, why do women gravitate towards certain men while ignoring others? Because most men are predictable. They are reactive, desperate to please, willing to bend themselves for approval. But the man who has mastered himself, he is different. He is unshakable. He does not persuade. He does not chase. He does not conform. He simply is. And in that stillness, in that self-possession, he finds not just attraction, but something far greater: freedom.